Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode of How to DIY to the Wltoys 28 scale RC drift project, and I hope that you like what you see and subscribe. In today's episode number 14 we are going to build our custom carbon top plate that we needed after our server upgraded from the episode from last week. So if you didn't see that episode, then check up the link over here. And we're gonna go continue with how to build a custom top plate. And as we have shown in last week's video again, we already made a template. It was pretty simple to make. It's just made from cardboard, and we grabbed the top plate and then we measured double the width of the top plate and just had a stroke of cardboard. Placed it on the top of the chassis, then checked out where the servo horn all the way is going towards, together with the arm. Maximum throw, it needs to go at least in and give some extra space for the arm. So we made a nice big cut, and the same we did at the front, because the upper arm is sticking out a little bit above the chassis plate. So we were like, okay, cut. But after that we're going to change it up a little bit, of course, then straight and then all the way to the end. Then we had another cut, and then I was like, well, that doesn't look pretty, so we just made an angle cut, keeping the same strength, but it looks just a lot better. And we're gonna do the same thing in the front. I'm just going to keep it on an angle to give us more flash right over here, because the more flash we have here, the stiffer the whole carbon top plate will be. Then we take this carbon plate. It's a 2mm sheet, I think 3K, true carbon, and we placed our template on top of it. And then we grabbed a file and a measurement tool, and we just measure it, cut it out. The light is shining pretty wrong for it, but you can see that we just cut a square, just like we did with the cardboard. Just make a square and then put the top plate on top of it. Use some scotch tape to tape it to the cardboard, and then it was just a question of drawing. And now we got the same template on the cardboard, and now it's a question of just cutting it out. I'm going to use a Dremel, as you have seen, but you can cut it out with your handsaw. We do recommend to do this all outside or in a good ventilated area, because it's toxic. Before you start, always safety glasses. Safety first. If this is going to break and cut your eye, it's done, and that's not worth it. So always safety first. It's not for nothing that we are wearing safety glasses, because this is already the second time. Well, that broke off pretty nice. Now we only have to make that little cut over there. Then we have to make the template over here to make the holes that we need, so we can mount it to the chassis. So we're going to use the top plate as a template, so we can find out exactly where we're going to drill the holes and where we like to have it. And I like to have it all the way to the front. And then we have a little hole here, that fifth hole, that separates right on the line, so that makes it easy to mount it back together. Now you can shift it around to get it sanded up. Make sure it's still lined up right at the 50% of that hole. I'm going to clamp it down. For extra security, you need to tape it down to the carbon, so it's not going to move an inch or a mil in my case. And now that the top plate is secured, we're going outside again to drill the holes, and we need the 4 on this side. And we need the 4 on the outside of this one, because we have extended the wheelbase, and then the 5th one in the middle for the motor mount. For the smaller holes you need a 2mm drill bit, and for the one bigger hole you need a 4mm drill bit. We are one step closer to a finished product. Now it's just a question of dry fitting it, and during dry fitting I found out that it's hitting the motor a little bit on that side, so should be actually a little cut off over here, just a little bit. And of course, like we mentioned before, it's touching the upper arm, but for that we have a solution. And of course you need longer screws than the stock screws. These are servo horns, 9 g servo horns, like this servo. They are a few mil longer to accept 2mm washers. They are pretty tiny, and you need 4 washers on each screw to get that height that we need. They are pretty thin, pretty small. M2 washers. I'll put all the links down below. That's the last of the screws. Then we can put the receiver back in its place, connect the wires, and go ahead and do a test drive. Because that is looking pretty slick. Really slick. Nice job, if I can say it myself. Now that the drift car is fully assembled, it's time to check if you have clearance enough, if it's not binding anything, and it seems to be clearance way more than we needed. So that's perfect. It's time to go to the track and test it out. Now with a lot stiffer chassis because we have the upgraded carbon top plate. I can really feel compared to last week drifting that it reacts faster to my inputs and it listens better to my inputs. But when it spins out, you're losing it a lot quicker. But it works so much better. I'm really liking a stiff chassis compared to a more flexible chassis. It feels so much better. And I hope you're liking this video and giving it a thumbs up and subscribe for the next week video, where we're going to upgrade the bottom chassis to carbon, of course. And I'm gonna say goodbye until next time.